Good afternoon. This is Tam Ramadan from Little Ethiopia. I'll be joined in a few minutes by celebrity photographer Patricia McDougall to interview the Ethiopian-born American filmmaker Salome, who was here on interview on the same time last about a couple of weeks ago. Until then, I'm going to say Merry Christmas to those people who celebrate the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and other nations like Russians, Egyptian, and Syrians who celebrate the Eastern European Church. Would you please put on the some of the pictures we have over there, sir? Okay, here are some of the pictures of the celebration of the Ethiopian culture about the Christmas. The last couple of weeks we have discussed about our programs where we had early celebration of Ethiopian Christmas along with Kwanzaa, which we have been doing it for the last 13 months. But today is going to be only the part of the Ethiopians who are celebrating it, or all the other groups. And here are some of the pictures. And one of this one is Ghana, which has got the same name like Christmas, is a kind of game young children and others play on the Christmas day. And Ghana is a precursor for the Tumkat festival, which will come in about 12 days. So it's kind of a unique kind of celebration, different from the United States. People play this polo-like game on that day, visit relatives, and I mean, it is really well celebrated back home and also here in the United States and in the diasporas. And we're gonna have Patricia here. Patricia, welcome. All right, sir. We're gonna go to the next program. Well, I'm going to welcome Patricia to come and interview Miss Salome Muligeta, who produced an Ethiopian movie called Woven, an award-winning film. Woven is being planned to be screened in the Washington metro area soon, the next 2 or 3 weeks. And Salome is also will be directing another movie that is also an award-winning script. So we will bring her online from New York, and she will be sharing about her past, the movie she has done, and the one coming up. So I will have the help of the celebrity photographer, Patricia McDougall, over here soon, and we'll do it. All right, sir?
You must be at peace. Find peace. Choose peace. I have not been listening to that voice for many years. Thank you.
Mia, you home?
What is the point of owning a house if you have no one to live with?
I know you're afraid of marriage. It scares you.
Charlie knows we've been fighting.
You did that.
Oh, happy birthday, Mayu.
Thank you.
Everything cool?
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Logan Thompson.
What's wrong with my baby? He has post-traumatic stress disorder.
Kobe, is it gonna feel to be talking to a counselor, huh?
You know, someone close to me passed away as well. Would you like to see a picture? Please. Say something so I know it's not true.
Hello? Hello?
I really don't know what I'm supposed to do with myself now.
If we don't say the truth out loud, it will harm us.
Hello, Salome.
How are you?
How are you? I'd like to introduce you my co-host here, Patricia McDowell, the celebrity Patricia McDowell, who will be doing the interview today. Go ahead.
Well, hello, and welcome to Patricia McDougall on the scene, and also with Tamara Midden from Little Ethiopia.
Hello, right back at you, Patricia. It's a pleasure to talk to you and an honor to be on your radio show. I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Absolutely. We're excited that you're here. We just saw a trailer. I know that Tamron just showed it. It was very interesting. I had the opportunity to listen to it earlier and watch it. It was very interesting. The trailer didn't tell too much about what was going to happen and who was who, but I kind of figured out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's very
Sometimes you have
nice.
to watch, right? It's a film to know, but it kind of gives you the idea, I suppose, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell us. Tell us a little bit about you. I know. Did you mention about her a little bit? Tell us a little bit about you. I know you're an actress. I know you're based out of New York, right? And Hollywood, of course. You're doing many acting events all over the city, right? Matter of fact, all over the world. I saw.
Well, I am a filmmaker, so I do act, but I'm a director, producer, writer, and a journalist as well. So I also contribute for the Africa Channel, here based in Los Angeles. Regarding the acting on Woven, we had actually written this piece with my co-writer Ryan Span, and he is from Michigan, and we were looking for someone to play the lead character, which is Eleni in the film. That's her name. But anyway, I ended up doing it because since we got in the beginning together to write it, I actually knew the character so well, you know.
Can we put her picture up as well while she's talking? Okay, go ahead.
And yes, I did study acting when I went to boarding school in England. So that is my love. But through it all, I love behind the work, what we do in cinema, like directing, producing, and writing as well. But acting to me is fascinating in many ways because you get to be someone else for however hours of the day that you're playing that character. But so I did wear many hats in this film. Yes, me being an actress and also a co-writer, co-producer, and a co-director. So, and after the film was finished, I started doing mostly a lot of directing.
Oh, I see.
And producing commercial, yeah. Because I loved it so much that I started, really wanting to do that and cultivate that and push that and to tell stories of the world. And I still act, I do, but just all sorts of things in that area.
So I saw the movie, and Tamara said that was you. Was she in the movie?
Yes.
Was that you in that movie?
Yes, that was me. I played the lead in the role of Woven. Her name is Eleni. Yes, She is a woman who basically struggles between her own culture and her identity, as well as the American egocentric culture.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. So, tell us a little bit about. I know you want to bring the film here to the DC area, and I made a couple of suggestions on bringing the film. Just tell us a little bit about that particular film, if you can. Did she hang up?
Hello?
Okay, I think we lost you for a minute. Are you back?
I'm back. I'm
Okay,
here. Yes,
so
I was talking.
saying,
I didn't know.
oh no, I said that we're trying to bring that film here so we could, let people see the trailer. So, right? Is that right?
Yes,
Is that
that's
two
right, yeah.
different ones, right? Okay, and then talk a little bit about it. But tell us a little bit of that particular one, right? Did you
Wait,
say?
I didn't tell you a little bit about the movie.
Yes,
You mean
uh-huh,
Woven?
right,
Woven.
Woven, right.
Okay, yes. So it's really about an immigrant family, in this particular case, Ethiopian, but
Okay.
it's a universal story. The family could be substituted for another family, but because I'm Ethiopian, I told the story from the point of view of the Ethiopian family. But anyway, they do come to New York as immigrants to live the American dream. But shortly after they come and started like living here, the kids become successful. The mother brings two children, a boy and a girl. One is a therapist, one is a doctor, but the boy dies in an accident. Yeah, that occurs. But in any case, that accident occurs with a Caucasian family
Right, I
that's
saw.
living in New York. And these two families meet due to the accident that occurs. And
Okay.
it's their journey together and how they are very different, but yet really the same when it comes to the core of connection of humanity.
Absolutely, right. It was a very interesting piece. Yeah, I truly enjoyed it. I wanted to know
Yeah, and
more
very
about it.
timely too, with what's going on in the world, right?
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
I like the statement connection of humanity. That's what we look.
Right, exactly.
Yes, because human beings, they may be different in the way that they're raised or the
Right.
language they're speaking or the food they're eating or their traditional outfits, whatever. But the emotional core of their soul, when it comes to basically emotions,
Right.
joy, sadness, grief, happiness,
Yes.
pain, they all have the same kind of feelings and they do connect in that level. And these families in the movie, that happens to them,
Well, yes, it does,
And
absolutely.
as the film unfolds, you get to see how in the beginning they were kind of like really like scared of one another or judging of one another or whatever. But
Of course, right,
throughout the
uh-huh.
film, you start seeing that they really are alike when it comes to pain and emotion. And it's really to showcase, like, the unknown is always very hard because you don't know what you're walking into and you're just a really nervous wreck. But in general, when you know one another, you understand that you are the same and you are connected.
Of course,
It's
absolutely.
amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So right now, we're looking on some adventures on moving that film forward. Correct? Is that the
Yes,
one?
well, what we are trying to do right now is we are
Tell
planning
us.
to have screening here in the Washington metro area.
Absolutely, we're gonna
And
make that
hopefully around the Harvard University or some of the places.
Right,
But
uh-huh.
also at the same time, after this movie where she's got several award and recognition, she's
Absolutely.
got another great opportunity where she has been selected
For?
to direct another movie,
Oh, my
which
goodness.
happens to be that's an award. The script is already an award-winning movie, and that will include well-known American artists, and so
Wow.
that is the other one. So this young lady, she is a filmmaker. She has done two very important things for the community. Number one,
Okay.
her movie is a member of the SAG. You know what SAG is?
Yes, of
Okay.
course. Working for Paramount Pictures for 10 years. yes.
Exactly. Can you explain to us? a little
No, don't get me looking. I'll let you explain it.
bit? Okay, maybe you can explain
Why
what
don't you
does it mean?
explain?
What does it mean? That's very important.
Yeah, I
The
might have a
community
short
know, yeah.
version. You might have the real version.
Yeah, all right.
Go ahead.
Tell us about that part. That's very interesting.
Tell us about it.
Well, the movie actually is,
Little
yes,
sad.
it's called Abaca. And Abaca is, yes, Tamrat is correct. It is a Nichols Fellowship and Academy Award script,
Right.
meaning it was for the basically for the writing and the story telling of it. The Academy has given it an award. So therefore, that is a status that I'm really happy to announce, and I'm very proud of. Because it is about a boy who loses his family, who is from Ethiopia, and he tries to navigate the world by himself. And through it all, he really understands. He comes from poverty, and he's always wanting to be wealthy.
Okay,
And-
like all of us.
And yes, he's trying to strive because he's seen poverty. In his eyes, poverty is compared to the hyena, because the hyena is a scavenger. It's always trying to get food that's left over, and he thinks he's like the hyena because he's out in the field, and as a farmer working with all these animals, and he thinks he's like the hyena, and he wants to be like the lion, like the jaguar. So
Right.
he's striving to be that jaguar, and so he feels like he has nothing to do with family, nothing to do with hyena. But throughout the
Okay.
film, you'll see that this boy really understands. He meets a coach who helps him understand. He gets adopted by a family, very wealthy family, and he wants to be like them because they're like to him like the jaguar. But he meets a coach, an American coach that was in Ethiopia, played by Lawrence Fishburne, who will be playing that part. Actually, he'll be playing that part. Who lets him know that it's okay to have both the hyena in life and the jaguar. So you can have success and also family, so you can balance it. It's not just one or the other. So it's a coming-of-age story where this boy understands what it is to be a jaguar in his mind and what it is to be the hyena. How does he become the hyena? If he becomes the hyena, he'll never have that success that jaguar has. And if he is like the jaguar, is the hyena going to totally not be in his life? Or can he be ashamed? Will he be ashamed of the hyena? So it's this thing where this boy understands life, and it's a beautiful story. Through it, you'll learn the culture of the Ethiopian, of course, history, the love that we have for one another, their food. And it also points out that Ethiopia has a certain qualities. Like, it's not just poverty like people think, that this boy gets adopted by an Ethiopian family who are really well-to-do, who send him to this amazing school, an American Ethiopian school. He gets educated by Ethiopians that are wealthy. So you see both sides, that Ethiopia has, both sides, like any parts of the world,
Okay.
And it is his journey, and his name is Abaca, therefore the film is called Abaca.
So tell us about SAG.
Well, by the way, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Before I put you,
yes.
we discussed about the Ethiopian
Merry
Christmas today.
Christmas to you.
Yeah,
Merry
yeah.
Today is the
Christmas to you, too.
Ethiopian Christmas, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
Nice.
it is today, yes. And maybe Tamara can tell us why it's a few weeks later than the American Christmas. I don't know. I just can turn the table.
Do you
and
celebrate
say,
two Christmases? Is that what
So
they
I
say?
do three.
They say
actually.
you guys have two
No, we have
Christmas.
one. But
You have one?
since
Why
we
do they
are
say three?
since we are all over the world, after the
Right.
iconic emperor of Ethiopia was overthrown in 1975, we are all over the world.
Oh,
So-
I know, of course. I mean, I was
Voilà.
just reading up
For
on
instance,
it.
a couple of weeks ago, I did the Kwanzaa and the early celebration of Ghana, that has been doing it for the
Ghana.
last 30 years. So, we are trying to develop our relationship everywhere we are.
Of
Well,
course.
continuing to the discussion we have, it's amazing. Both the movies are related with Ethiopians, and you are connecting with the Americans' culture here, which is very, very interesting. But tell us first and foremost, how did this interest come to you? I'm very much interested about movie because if you remember, I told you last time, movie saved my life. You remember I told you that?
Yes.
Because in 1975, I was involved with the first Ethiopian color movie. It had happened that color movie was invited to Moscow for the International Film Festival. And at that time, the Russians and the communist Ethiopian government was in honeymoon. I had difficulty to go out, and I made some kind of arrangement to leave that country. So I have always an interest. When it comes to movie, I'm very much interested. I don't know if you have gone on online this morning. I have put every Ethiopian celebrities on the feature story. I don't know if you have seen it. They are next to you. I have Miss Naga and another guy, famous Weekend, and another lady, Elfunesh. These are all Ethiopian American celebrities in the United States, so that, the next generation can look into them. All right, so tell us how you started, how this interest came in. Did you have this interest while you were in Ethiopia, or it came here, or you came to know that you have an interest in movies in the United States? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, and before, I just want to say also the film, if I can say that, the film is produced by Stephanie Elaine. She's one of the most, honestly, coveted women producer that has done amazing films like Boys in the Hood, Hustle and Flow, and now Dear White People. That's also a season on Netflix. Is also a very successful film. So I'm really thrilled to be working with an African-American incredible producer who is, it's hard for, as you know, women in the industry always are looked a little bit, it's a little bit different than men. And when you find somebody like Stephanie that you're working with, who's an African-American producer, who's done, wonderful movies on top of the game, I am just so thrilled to be working with her as well. So I just wanted to give her that shout out. Her name is, as you know, Stephanie, but I'm excited that she's producing Abaca, is what I wanted to say.
Very nice.
Yes, I didn't mention that earlier. But, so I got into films since I was a little girl. It's funny what they say, what you want when you're a kid. You don't even know how or where, and I don't know, you just have these things that in your head that you want. And when I was a little girl, I would just tell my mom, I saw the movie The Champ, and they had seen it over and over and over, and they had said to me, do you want to see this film? And but my mom, we were really little, and I remember she said, I don't know if you see it, but this boy's really good in the film, so do you want to see it? And it was with John Voight played the father, Faye Dunaway played the mother, and Ricky Schroeder played the kid. And I'll never forget, that was the first film that really touched me. And I don't know if you know of The Champ, right? You know the movie The Champ, where it was...
I know it.
Yeah. So I sat there, and when John Voight, the father, dies in the movie, I honestly thought it was real. I didn't know these were actors.
Oh,
and I told my mom, we need to go and find the boy. Right. I was so wow, because I remember he did this thing where he was like, Dad, get up, Dad, you can't leave me. And I was stuck to the television, and I said to my mom, can we write him? And then I told her, is the mom raising him now? How's she doing? And she goes, honey, it's a movie. People make believe these things. And I was like, a movie? Anyway, yes, and then that made me, I think that was my first instinct where, because it made sense to me that people do these things, and they're tell your emotions, how to feel, whatever. And that was the first time that I said to myself, I want to do that. I want to do create that, but I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know where to go about it, whatever. But that's how my first instinct started of wanting to be a filmmaker. And then, of course, later I went to journalism school. I was a journalist first in Kansas, and I was doing stories. But I think what provoked me as a journalist was there was a drive-by shooting that happened. And it was only I remember I was an intern first, and then I got hired. I was 17 years old. And it's one of those stations where you actually have to drive the van, take the all equipment, the crew stuff, pull it in the car, drive by, and basically do live shots. And and I was it was my second day or third day, and it was a drive-by shooting, and I was sent there. And it was this little African American girl I didn't, of course, that was shot and died. Her name was Nikisha. I'll never forget it. And the mother was so distraught. I mean, and it was really hard, but it was a gang people. I don't know that it was a drive-by shooting, but it was basically one gang member trying to find another gang member, and it killed her. They weren't trying to shoot her. It was like they shot and it went through the window, and she was sleeping and she died. Anyway, I say this to say that affected me. I think that was one of the things where I said, okay, I'm going to go and write and do stories, because when at the time the news director, and when we found out she was an African American girl, and then she was an A student. I mean, all the things that in writing, she was an amazing kid. And the news director told me, we cannot say who shot her. And although we knew it was like a race factor as well. And I said to him, why? And then he said to me, because we just want to say she died. We're not mentioning color. And that was like, it was because it was, the news director is telling me what to say. And I said to him, well, if this was a movie, I could do it because I'm speaking the truth. And he goes, yes, but this isn't a movie. This is a newsroom. And then I said, okay. So that was then I said, I'm going to write stories, because that kind of provoked me. Like, why can't I say who shot her?
Of course.
And, but it was because it was in Kansas City. It was all these things. And it was racial, and they didn't want it. The channel didn't want to do that, whatever. But anyway, I left. That was the end of the year. I left, packed my bags, went to California to write a story. It was 15 years ago, and here we are. Woven got made. But that's one of the catapult that pushed me to really be a filmmaker. As her death, little Nikisha's death.
So you're based out of New York?
Yes, I live in New York. Yes, I live in New York. Yes.
Okay. I told you the story about working for Paramount Pictures. I worked for them for 10 years. Met a lot of interesting actors and writers and producers and directors and all of that, right?
Right.
That didn't drive me to become one.
Yeah, you mean I know it.
They looked like they were having a hard time. Anyway, because there's so much involved in it, so much politics in the field.
Yeah. It's
You are really doing an amazing job.
You are. Yeah, that's a
So,
lot of work.
how are you?
Thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, I think when you see like people like Stephanie too doing their game, and you want to make sure that Also, my fight is to have people of color that are women to do what I do, because I know coming up, it really wasn't easy for me. And I still have a lot to go. I still have a lot all the way to go. But honestly, having Stephanie, seeing what she does every day is incredible. And, as human beings, we leave the world one day and our legacy stays. But I think my fight is that other women do what I do, and it opens the doors for them, and they fight the fight until we're all equal,
Absolutely.
Okay, what is the reaction of the movie industry about your coming into this? Are you really noticed now, or you are trying to penetrate? Are you getting any kind of main media interested in you? Because, there is a big problem within the Ethiopian diaspora community, as you know, because since we are mostly engaged on political and other affairs, we have not been able to show our past successes for the black people of the world. I'm sure from history, if in 1896 the patriotic and resilient people of Ethiopia didn't fight at Adwa, probably Africa might not have been freer. Or also for the second time when the Italian came and occupied Ethiopia, if Emperor Haile Selassie didn't fight, made an international campaign, probably we would have been in a very big problem, because as you know, by the end of the 20th century, almost 90% of Africa was colonized, except Ethiopia. So I think you're coming into this scene, into the movie industry, will have a big impact when it comes to the history, the culture, And right now, as you know, that the Ethiopian food is famous, especially in Washington D.C.
Oh,
Probably there
yes.
are over 100 restaurants, probably.
There's quite a few, especially around here in this
Yeah.
area here. the
Yeah,
Unity
so
corridor.
it's very, very important. So just give us, so far, what have you done? I mean, who has shown an interest saying that, well, here comes a beautiful and Ethiopian filmmaker trying to bring something new to the film industry?
I mean, I've been on ABC. Is that what you're asking me?
Yes, yes,
what
yes.
have-
Right.
Yes.
Well, I've done ABC, Vibe, Vibe Magazine, in ABC News, and a lot of articles like, what do you call that? LA Sentinel, and the Little Ethiopian. I mean, you can Google up all the stuff that I've been on. I don't remember all of them, but like,
Right.
what is that? Little Ethiopia, Tadia, quite a bit. But
Right.
I mean, I don't know to say that about myself. It's a bit weird, but.
No, that's beautiful.
But I mean,
That's
you can
wonderful,
Google, you can
yeah.
Google and see, and
Right.
check. But I mean, for me, it's not about me. It's, I think even the film, honestly, was above. It has a life by its own. When you do something, you have an idea,
This is Ethiopia.
and then you set it out to the world, and that film by itself becomes its own entity.
Wow.
In anything, like if you're painting something, you have the idea to paint, but you don't know how that painting will come. But eventually, if it comes the way you have it, or even more better, it has its own entity.
Of course, right.
It's the same thing with films. You do it, you have the idea, you write it. It's a very collaborative work. Film. It's not just like one person. I mean, it's the director. Yes, is the person who wants the film to be a certain way, but there are producers, writers, the people that behind the camera, the DOP. I mean,
There's a lot
honestly,
to
it's
it.
the
Oh, yeah, there's a lot
actors,
to it, right.
the art, costume. It's a very, very collaborative work, and I think that is very important to say, because sometimes at the end, only one person gets the credit.
Right.
And it's really, I mean, of course, you do it all together, and then you all kind of come up with, and then of course the director is the person who has the final say. But like I said, the actors, everybody makes that film, and that's why when it gets out, it's an entity. It has a life of its own, because after 10, 20 years, I think that people will remember, I mean, who maybe directed it, who did the film, but really sometimes I think people who remember the film, they don't know who did this or who did that, maybe, but
Right.
it's their own entity, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I understand. I understand the different levels and the parts, right? You have the global awards, the Golden Global Awards tonight.
Tonight, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was actually supposed to go out there and cover it. I wasn't able to make it. But that's going to be very interesting. I guess, do you watch it?
Yes, I do watch it, and I also think it's interesting that all the women are wearing black today, because they want...
The women are
Golden
wearing
Globe
white, but they said it's all black, everybody's wearing
All
black.
black. No, not white, black. All they're wearing all black because, yes, black. That's what I
Black,
mean.
right? Yeah, I was like white. I
Yeah.
thought they said black. Yeah, now why?
No black, no white, no white, black. I said black, black.
What is the
black, black. You
statement?
didn't hear
Why
me.
are they wearing all black? I'm just curious.
Because they want to make basically their voice heard, that we should
Okay.
all be equal and treated the same when it comes to payment. The men get paid more than the women.
I see.
And also, sometimes, what's so interesting to me, now I've been doing the festival circuits. For Woven, we've been in so many circuits the film has gone, and
Okay.
it's so funny to me that when you see the bathrooms, the people's the festival, the
Okay.
men's bathroom is so long, around the corner and round and around and around.
Okay.
And then the women's bathroom is just I don't know, only a few. I mean, they're long, but they're not that long. And
They're
I
not like
always used to
that.
gauge that. That's how I gauge about the filmmaking. I'm
I see. I
yeah,
see.
because there are more women. Or if you go to seminars, if you go to filmmaking seminars and stuff, that's what you'll see, that the female filmmakers are limited as opposed to compared to the men,
I see.
Well,
Probably why.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I got a question for you about regarding Woven, which you are trying to see if we can bring it for a screening in the Washington area.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about some of the actresses who participate. We know one is a famous woman here, Almaz Rahun. She's also a dancer here in the Washington metro area. She also does a lot of traditional coffee ceremonies on several events. I've been working with her for several years, probably about 13, 14 years. So tell us who are the other actresses who worked with you?
Right.
Yeah, Alma had a little part in the film. It was nice to have her part and play, but she was really good, actually, very, very good. She does in the opening scene where she's singing the Ethiopian song, and it just was a very, very, very charismatic, wonderful actress. Yes, but we also have Alam Wadajo, who is a very, very well-known Ethiopian actress. Who plays the character Samra, who is who plays the mother of my character. Okay. So I had a lot of scenes with her, and she's an incredible actress. Oh my goodness! You would say, well, maybe can you get emotional and cry a little bit here? I mean, usually actors, you have to kind of like have them, like I don't know, like put a little bit of thing on their eyes, but she would just like cry on the spot. Okay. And then she would laugh when you tell her, but just be joyful. And she's she is a veteran in the community as actors go. And everyone who sees the film will say that when they leave the film. But yeah, her name is Alam Wadajo, and she just was incredible. And it really incredible to also play off, because when I would be doing the rehearsal with her, I sometimes would say to her, "Oh, we don't have to do rehearsal, do we?" Because I would joke with her because we already, because she was so good. Mm-hmm. But she, while we're actually doing the scenes too, she was amazing to play off as well. Yeah, so she was a very responding to the question you asked me. Who was the Ethiopian actress? I would say she played a big role in the film.
Okay, very nice, very nice.
How about the other gentleman? What's his name? The other player?
Ryan Onan, but he's not Ethiopian. So I thought you said Ethiopian. That's right. Ryan Onan. He's a very, he's been in lots of films. He's a TV. He's on TV series now, and he's done. I think it's called with Robert De Niro and 50 Cent. Okay. What is that movie? Oh my gosh. Freelancers or something, where he plays a cop with Robert De Niro. He's done a film with America Ferrera, Dryland. He's done a couple of movies that he actually wrote and directed himself. He's a very good, actor as well, amazing, and very kind, and it was so sweet to all of us as we were doing the film as well.
I see.
By the way, how long is the movie?
It's about an hour and a half. An hour and 38 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna ask.
And I hope.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I hope I'm right. I just was going to say, I hope I'm right. It's about an hour and 38 minutes. I'm looking it up. So
an hour and 38 minutes? Okay. Can we put a picture up while she's talking, please?
Can you put the picture, please?
We're trying to make sure they see who we're talking to when you're on the air. Right. Okay.
Well, is there any, and if you don't have any, do you have any other questions you want to ask?
So when we have the filming here, which will be soon, in the next couple of weeks here, we will open it up to the audience. We will have, some appetizers for Ethiopian food, right? And then...
Right, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we can give you a little bit of the culture. We're going to have some of the actress or actors, right? Will be present after the filming for Q&A, right?
Yes, of course. That would be wonderful to do that. We'll get the actors to come. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to be all, but I suggest at least a few of them so you can have a dialogue if people have questions after. I mentioned a couple of places too that I was interested in having it shown because I think I was watching the trail and I thought it was kind of cool. I think if we can get it at the African Museum, right? African American Museum would be good. So we can
Yes.
get a Q&A. If we get some of the main characters, that would be awesome. That would be a good place. They do have a time when they actually have arts and films, and they do that for a whole week. And so we need to find out when that is so we can actually have you participate in that for sure.
Okay, that would be wonderful.
Because we just don't want
Okay.
to, you could show it in different places, different times. So, I mean, various places. I think it's wonderful. I think it's great. And we're excited to have you come and actually be able to present your film. We're excited to help you and
Thank
support
you.
you in any way we can, especially with Tamron here. He insists.
Yeah, and I hope that everyone also at the end also would be following the Abaca story because we're shooting that this year in
Okay.
May, hopefully. So, people, it's kind of nice to, if they know that I've done this film, what the next one will come. So I'm so excited for Abaca. Really
So
thrilled.
Avocat is the one that you want the support for, correct? Is that right? Is
That's
that the
right. Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Right. Okay. Just
Yeah.
want to make sure. Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
they're different. Yeah.
Okay. So you can
So,
start going to.
So, but I mean, sometimes, oh, go ahead.
And where is it going to be filmed?
It will be filmed in Ethiopia.
Oh,
It'll
in
be filmed
Ethiopia.
Is
Oh,
it the whole thing, or is
oh.
gonna be some part in the United States?
I think right now the whole thing will be in Ethiopia at the moment.
And so
For
how
now,
long
and
will
the
it
very
take?
end part of it. Go ahead.
So how long will it take to film in Ethiopia? Like, what's the length of time?
It's probably that's a great question. As of right now, when we're doing the schedule, we're hoping to probably say a month and a half.
Oh, a month and a half. Wow. Okay, I see.
Well, it's gonna be
Maybe we can
amazing.
get you a part in that. Tamara needs to come and be a part in it. You could be
Thank
an
you.
extra.
I know, right?
I'll be an extra. Hey, I'm just still now.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Before you go, let me say to our listeners, this will be for them to come and meet you for the Woven movie.
Yes.
Before, it will be very difficult to get. Once you do Abaka,
Right.
your status will change, so it might be very difficult to see you. So we encourage people. How would people can get information
Yes.
or reach you for any information?
Oh yeah, I have actually Instagram website. I have a website with all my information.
Okay.
Facebook,
Okay.
Twitter. So I have all of those. And I
Say
can
your
give that to
name.
you,
Say
but
your name so they can hear it.
My name.
Yes. And spell it.
My name is Salome, Salome, and then last name is Mulugeta, Mulugeta.
Okay. Well, we thank you for coming on today and tuning in. We really appreciate that. We look forward to presenting the show. We only have 2 minutes here. And we're excited to have you to come back on again as it gets a little later as we get ready to have you come on to present. So please tune in every
Thank you.
Sunday. Thank you so much. So tune in every Sunday.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
At 2 o'clock.
I appreciate it.
And again, Merry Christmas to Tamron. And we look forward to you, Tamron Midden. Yes.
Yeah,
Little
Tamron Midden.
Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, tune in every Sunday at 2 o'clock at Listen Vision. Patricia McDougall on the scene with Tamron Midden. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Bye now.